Stretch Drive. It's Wednesday afternoon, June the 24th, and we're looking at a nice evening card tonight at Buffalo Raceway. Mike, over 900 views Friday for Saturday's card. Unbelievable.
Went up another 100 views from the first one we did there from Buffalo. Thanks to the viewers out there. That's all I can say.
Also, you can check us out at thestretchdrive.blogspot.com. We're also on Twitter at stretchdriving. Mike, we had some news the other night. Monday night, we got our first sponsor. Zambistros in Medina is now the proud sponsor of the Stretch Drive.
Excellent. Zambistros, great place to eat.
Main Street, Medina. If you've never been there, you're missing out on great food. I've been there several times, never had a bad meal. Actually had my best one Monday night.
What'd you have?
I had a nice filet. It was on special. It was fantastic.
Can't beat a filet.
All right, let's get to the picks. Wednesday night. Tonight. We got action.
A lot of action.
Love action.
Start us off, PC.
First race, first half of the double. I went to the 2, the Bayfront Mike Ohold trains. Kevin Cummings gets behind her tonight for the first time. I think Kevin will get along good with this horse. She needs aggressive steering. I think Kevin will do it. I think he might try to push forward out of the gate and put her on the front. If she's on the front, I don't think she could get beat. I like her a lot here in the opener. For second, I went to the 2, Hey Sweetie. Maria Rice trains. Billy Davis drives. Again, can't go wrong with that combo. They've been in front, training and driving category the whole meet. She will be heard from late. For third, I like a little bit of a price to 1, Squeeze This. For the Jimmy Graham barn, Jimmy Graham's been hot lately. He's won a few here and there. Ray Fisher picks up the drive. I think she'll get a good trip in here and get in the trifecta. So in the opener, I went 2, 3, 1.
I agree with you with the 2. Getting Kevin Cummings in the bike. Raced great last start. Jim Morrill in the bike. Obviously, he went to Poconos, so he's not here. So I went to the 2 on top, and I went to the 5 for second. Blue Bell Bonnie. Been just missing lately. I think she'll be a factor late. And then for third, I went to Hey Sweetie, Billy Davis Jr., Maria Rice combination. Been on fire all year long. And actually, in this race, number 2, Bayfront, is going to be my best bet of the night.
Oh, starting it right off with your best bet. I like it. Moving on to race 2, pick 5 wagering. Exacted trifecta wagering. I went to the 2, Hoofing It. Had a lot of trot last week. I think he stepped on a tire, made a break. The week before, he finished up real well. I think he's going to get a nice trip in here. Drew Monty drives for his father, Darren. I like Hoofing It to kick off the pick 5. For second, I went to the 1, Barn Winner. I think he will probably go off the favorite in here. Had 2 horrible posts since coming back from the coronavirus break. Ray Fisher, I think, will be definitely aggressive with this one. For third, I went to the 5, Activist. Just really hasn't been firing, but I think he could work out a third in here to finish off the trifecta.
Excellent. I went to the 1, Barn Winner. Just like PC said, 2 horrible posts. Draws back inside. Ray Fisher, Barn, Ryan Swift. Had some pretty good winners lately. For second, I went to the 5, Activist, picking up Billy Davis Jr. I think you're going from Morrill to Billy Davis. Not really much of a difference, but you're getting a lead-in driver. I like that horse to be in there for second. And for fourth, I actually went to Catch the Bouquet for Dave McKnight and Dave McKnight Sr.
Or third. Either way. Moving on to race 3. Exacted trifecta, superfecta betting. This is going to be my best bet of the night. I went to the 2, Monte Pulciano, Maria Rice, Billy Davis. This one, Michael, actually absolutely grew wings in the stretch last week, was flying. He found some dead cover going up the backside, got stuck behind some horses that weren't going forward. Billy tipped him 3 wide just past the 3/4, and this thing was flying. I think in here, doesn't matter how Billy drives him. I think as long as he stays upright and the horse minds his manners, Monte Pulciano will win race 3. He'll be my single in the pick 5. For second, I went to the 1. Here you go. This is a fast trotter out of the Bob Whitcop stable. Qualified really well, 2, 1, and 4. Win last season at Tioga in 157 flat. Just very lightly raced, only 14 starts, has won 7 of them. This horse has a motor. For third, I went to the 3, Leader of the Pack. I'm not sure what Kevin's strategy will be in here. This horse does his best work on the front, so we'll see what happens there. For fourth, I went to the 4, Golden Gypsy. Haven't been real impressed with this one since coming here from Saratoga, but it happens to always be around in the Super, so I'm going to go 2-1-3-4 in race 3 with Monte Pulciano being my best bet of the night.
I'm actually going to go to the young trotter in the Bob Woodcock barn on top. Here you go. Nice qualifier. I think he's going to work out a trip, possibly behind the 2. Actually, for second, I did go to the 2, Monte Pulciano. And for third, I went to the 4, Golden Gypsy, Sabrina Shaw barn. Near misses every week, always in the ticket. Just got to find a way to trip out. And to round out the super, I did go to the 3, leader of the pack, Kevin Cummings for Jerry Ceramo.
Moving on to race 4, Exacta Trifecta Superfecta. In this event, it's mares for the Class D, optional 4 claimer. I went to the 2, Time All Lucky in pink on top. John McKeever trains, Drew Monty drives. I think this one will go down the road tonight. Usually she does her best work on the front. I like her to get the job done in the 4th. For second, I went to the 6, Larjan Laura. I really like this mare. This doesn't seem to like to win very much. Last week it looked like she was home free. Got pumped at the wire by the 7, Irish Heart. I think she'll be close in this one, and I think she'll just come up short again. For third, I went to the 4, Cantala. No, I didn't. For third, I went to the 8, JK Baby Blue. Very fast filly out of the Ryan Swift barn. You said it. Ryan Swift had a big weekend, won the Open, and won another one with Rock to Dream. JK Baby Blue looks like a very fast filly. She raced good in her first start. I think this one will be flying late. For fourth, I went to the 4, Cantala. Chris Nadel for Wade Tomaszewski. This one looks to be coming back into form. So in race 3, for race 4, I went 2, 6, 8, and 4.
I'm going to agree with you on the winner, Time All Lucky in pink. Drawing inside, Drew Monty for John McKeever. In this field, I think she's going to be right on the front. For second, I did also go to Larjan Lawyer. Just can't find a way to win.
No.
For third, I actually picked the TG3 off the rail. Upstart filly, Sean McDonough for Janine Simone. I think he's just going to work out a trip. Not bad qualifier. For fourth, I went to Cantala to round out the super. However, JK Baby Blue, I do like her, but I think she's a little bit too far outside this week.
Yeah, that 8-hole, tough to overcome. Moving on to race 5, first half of the mid-double, Exacta Trifecta wagering. Real head scratcher here, Mike.
Big one.
Took me a while to come up with a winner in here. Ended up settling on the 6, Brother Oli. Drew Monty drives for Jim Graham. Doesn't really draw good. I'm hoping Drew kind of puts this one into play early and gets around some things in front of him and can get into position where, he can maybe get there late. Not a real confident pick in here. For second, I went to the 2, Incoherent. Missed a whole year of racing. Qualified in 2, 2, and 4. 2, 2, and 4 might be able to get the job done in here. I think he'll get around the 1 and be right in the hunt the whole way. For third, I went to the 1, Hellrider. Mike Caprio drives for his wife, Alana. They seem to do all right with these young trotters. I think this one will be able to suck along in his first start for the barn and finish out the try.
Like you said, real head scratcher here. I went to the 2, Incoherent, picking up Ray Fisher. Got an inside post. Looks like you could leave a little bit. For second, I went to the 5, Better to Be Lucky out of the Brittany O'Hole barn. Kevin Cummings in the bike. Top rangeman there for a long time. For third, I went to the 6, Brother Oli, to round out the trifecta.
Head scratcher in the 5th. We're going to go on to race 6, Exacta Tri Superfecta wagering. I landed on the 1, Mercedes Boy, Maria Rice and Billy Davis again. This one's been in a C, but I think this C's a little weaker than the C's this one's been in. There's no Empire Earl, no Eat 'em Up Blue Boy. I think this one's going to work out a nice trip in here behind the pace setter, who I think will be the 6, Bands Ariston, and also my second choice. I think he will be the dictator of fractions, and I think Mercedes Boy will just run him down late. For third, I went to the 4, Alert Hanover. This one was much better last year. I'm looking for him to start coming back into form. And for fourth, I went to the 3, La Millionaire. Dan Yetman drives for Lisa Mariacker. Going from Morrill to Yetman, I'm not real sure how that's going to go, but I think he'd be able to work out a trip and get in the super.
Yeah, I just did a little old reverse than what you did. I got Bands Ariston on the front. Obviously, I think he's going to leave out of there. The 1, Mercedes Boy, sit the 2-hole. Just a matter of if you can beat him or not on the way home. For third, I went to Le Millionaire, getting Yeti in the bike, getting a lot of drives than he usually does.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he had any drives last year. And for fourth to round out the Super, I went with Alert Hanover.
Moving on to race 7, first part of the pick 4. I love the pick 4. How about you?
Pick 4, pick 5, pick 3, doesn't matter. I love them all.
We're picking them all. Exacted try pick 4 wagering. This is the simplest race of the night for me because it's plain and simple. Keystone Apache trots, wins by as many as he wants. If he doesn't trot, now we got a head scratcher on our hands. But I think he will trot. Qualified huge, 159, last quarter 29 seconds. Billy Davis was a statue in the bike. I think he will just be very careful with this one. He trots, he wins by as many as he wants and the single in the pick 4. For second, I like the 2, Labatt Hanover was lagging the gate last week, trotted home real nice for Wade Tomaszewski. This one was better last year. Hopefully he's starting to come back into form. For third, I went to the 6, All About the Chase, Mike. I think this one's going to be a nice trotter in the future for the Caprio barn. Second last week, I think he might have been able to win, but Mike had other plans for this one. So for the 7th race, I went 1, 2, 6. Keystone Apache on top. Easiest kind of winner if he trots.
I agree. I went to the 1 Keystone Apache. Nice qualifier. I think he'll be able to ease him out of the gate. Qualified in 59 in a piece. I think that'll get it done here pretty easy. For second, I did go to Labatt Hanover, and should be able to sit right behind the 1 and get a nice trip. And for third, I went to the 7 actually. O'Doyle Rules trotting up late.
Moving on to race 8, it's a BC handicap. The post 1 got assigned, which means she was the only C entered for this event, and just so happens, Mike, this is my top choice. The 1 Turbo Diva, Dan. Billy Davis drives for Ange Napo. Moves inside, back to the rail. This horse does show speed on the bottom of the program at Woodbine. I think Billy, this one will get more of an aggressive try tonight. For second, I went to the 6, Heaven's Diva. No Little Joke, no Bayfront, no Bluebell Bonnies in here. I think she'll be flying late and be a big part of this race. For third, I went to the 3, Black and Sweet Ada A. Mike Torsello just purchased this one. Jerry Cerama trains, Kevin Cummings drives. Only problem with this one, hasn't raced since March 4th. I'm interested to see what she looks like on the track. And for fourth, I went to the 4, Carly Girl. Raced really good last week. Regular pilot Drew Monty gets back aboard. I think she gets a piece of the Super.
I agree with you. I went to the 1 Turbo Diva, getting Billy Davis on the rail for Ange Napo. If you look down the program, he does show some speed. And being a Woodbine horse, I think Billy Davis might have a little inside info on what to do with her. For second, I did pick the 4 Carly Girl, getting regular arrangement Drew Monty back in the bike after a nice start last week. And for third, I picked Heaven's Diva, Kyle Cummings. Should be able to be flying late coming home. And for fourth, I went to Black and Sweet Ada A. Just like you said, hasn't raced since March. Might be a little short. Not sure where the horse will end up.
Moving on to race 9, exacta, trifecta, superfecta betting. Mike, we got a real another head scratcher on our hands here. It's the Class D, the optional 4-claimer trot. This one's a tough race. I end up going to the 5. He's a Swan. I'm hoping they mix it up early a little bit. And this one will have some fractions to close into. Has no early speed, but does trot home nicely. For second, I went to the 2, Trotting RT. Fisher will definitely put this one in play early. Does his best work on the front. I think that's where he'll be. For third, I went to the 1, Simon the Diamond. Put up a nice effort in his first start of the season. Frank Mays trains for Jimmy McKnight Jr. And for fourth, I went to the 4, Charmageddon. Denny Boo picks up the drive for Dave Dilo Jr. This one was first over last week. Raced all right. I think Denny will definitely put this one in play and be a factor in this one. So I went 5, 2, 1, 4 in the 9th.
Just like you said, head scratcher here. I went to the 2, Trotting RT. I think Fisher's just going to set sail with this one and catch me if you can. For second, I went to the 3, Tenor Du Harris. I think this horse is just going to be able to suck along inside, make a move late and get up for second. For third, I went to the 1, Simon the Diamond. Didn't race terrible last week. I think that start is going to help this horse a lot. And for fourth, I round out the Super with He's a Swan trotting up late.
Moving on to race 10, exacta tri superfecta betting. We've got Fillies and Mares Class C. It's an optional 75 claimer. This is my live long shot of the night. I went to the 3, Scarlet and Silk. Winner in her first start back from coronavirus and from South Florida. Last week, never had room. If you watch the replay, she had late pace. She was flying on the outside to get up for 5th. Just missed 4th. Rose Russo trains, regular pilot Sean McDonough back in the bike. He won with her 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure how he's going to race her. She does have some gate speed. If Sean could get her to the front, she will be very tough. She can also race from behind. I like this one as a live long shot. She'll pay over $10. Make sure you use Scarlet and Silk and race 10. For second, I went to the 6, Milky Way Ray. This one was absolutely flying last week. Kevin Cummings trains and drives. Key is with her, Mike, you got to keep her covered as long as you can. She's got one move, and that's it, but she does fly in that move. For third, I went to the 1, Race with Grace. Gets the rail. Drew Monty drives. The only time Drew drove this horse, he was a winner. She will be very tough in here off the rail. For fourth, I went to the 4, Susie's Delight. Trapped for her life last week, had nowhere to go. Shook Free got off for third last week. I think she'll be a contender in here also in the Super. In race 10, I went 3, 6, 1, 4, Scarlet and Silk, live long shot of the night.
I actually went to the 4 on top, Susie's Delight out of the Ryan Swift barn. I think this one might take a shot and leave out of there, try to get to the front. For second, I went to Milky Way Ray.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister. I went to her for second. Like you said, has one move, strong move, and you got to keep her paying attention. And I think Kevin is able to do that to keep her up for second. For third, I went to Race with Grace off the rail, moving back inside for Jerry Sarama and Drew Monty. And for fourth, I went to the 3, Scarlet and Silk, pacing up late.
Moving on to race 11, exacta try, 50-cent pick 3 wagering. I went to the 2, Rockefeller Lindy. Kevin Cummings drives this week for Jim Clauser Jr. I think that's a big driver change. I like Rockefeller Lindy in here. I think Kevin will put this one on the front. He's not real sharp right now, Mike, but I still think he's better than these. For second, I went to the 5, Empire Earl. Raced really good last week. Got a bad trip. Drew's back in the bike. He won with this one 2 weeks ago. I actually think this one lines right up 2-5 out of the gate, and they go around the track like that. For third, I like the 1, Kennel Buddy. Now you look, he only won in 2, 2, and 1 last week, but that doesn't really matter because Billy Davis was just a passenger. He could have won by as many as he wanted. Tipped off late and just cruised home. The week before was a huge winner. Last quarter in 28-4. I think this one will get a good trip in here and be part of the try. So in race 11, I went 2-5-1, Rockefeller Lindy and Kevin Cummings.
I also did go to the 2 on top, Rockefeller Lindy, getting Kevin Cummings in the bike. Dave McKnight, the 3rd, triple sticks, got to drive his own in here, Arnold, and I did pick him for second. Round out the trifecta, I did use Kennel Buddy. Not sure if this one has enough trot to take the win this week. The only reason I did not use Empire Earl in this race, going to the AB handicap, I think Rockefeller Lindy with the inside position might have a step up on him.
Moving on to race 12, first half of the late double. It's the open trot. We haven't had one of these since the very first week they opened, so it's been a few weeks. So in this event, I mean, Mike, for me, it's just really hard to pick against the 1, Victoria Swan. She's been absolutely giant since shipping to Western New York for the Sabrina Shaw barn, winning 57 and 58 respectively, drawing away at the wire. Tonight we're going to find out just how good Victoria Swan is. I think she's good enough, but we will find out. For second, I went to the 4, Lugazi, was home free last week and made a late break, cost him the win. For third, I went to the 5, Noble Legend. Will probably be the pace setter in here. He could leave with the car. Billy Davis will put this one on the front, and we'll see how long he goes there. But in race 12, I went 1-4-5 with Victoria Swan, mild upset in the open trot.
Well, I went to the 4 on top, Lugazi. This horse and machine, like you said, late bobble last week, probably cost him the win. And for second, I went to the 1, Victoria Swan. Been racing great. I'm not sure if this horse can hang with Lugazi or not, but we're going to find out. Round out the trifecta, I did go with Noble Legend. Just like you said, Billy Davis put this thing on the point and see where we go from there.
Moving on to the 13th in the finale. It's a Class D for fillies and mares, optional 4 claimer. I went down to the 6, Keystone Zeta, driver switch to Drew Monty. I think that'll help this one. This horse draws terrible. I'm hoping Drew's aggressive with this one early and puts her in play. There's really not much inside of her that could leave. For second, I went to the 3, Aunt Betty. She moves inside, got 2 starts under her belt. I think she'll be much tighter. For third, I went to the 2 Bronco Cena. This horse raced really good last week. Fisher had this one all over the track. He came from last. He was first over. He took a ton of air. Denny Boo gets in the bike tonight. I think she has a big shot in here. For fourth, I went to the 5 Miss Evil. Mike Baumeister drives for Randy Seeley. So in the finale, I went 6, 3, 2, 5, Keystone Zeta, and Drew Monty in the last.
I 100% agree with you. All 4 picks. I went 6, 3, 2, 5 as well. And I'm going to take the 6 as my live long shot. Getting Drew Monty. I don't know how long the horse will be, 4-1 morning line. But I'm going to take that one as my live long shot.
Okay, so that's our show for Buffalo Raceway. Don't forget, check us out. thestretchdrive.blogspot.com. We're also on Twitter at @thestretchdriving. And don't forget, check out Zambistro's, Main Street Medina. You have the best meal you ever had. Thank you for joining us. Good luck tonight.
See you later.
See you later.